Hey everyone, it's Markco again. If you can't tell by the tone of my voice, I'm smiling. 2350 MMR. That's right. Over the course of 35 to 40 games, I played with a Resto Druid, which is probably a D tier comp. It's a terrible comp. But we laughed our asses off getting 2350 MMR within 100 MMR of Gladiator, by the way. I will talk to Boogeyman. He's the Druid. If he wants to keep going and go for Gladiator, I'll do it with him. He obviously, as a Resto Druid, has way better options for partners, and with how good he is, he could absolutely just play with his DK and do amazing. So it would take some work, but I think we could get Gladiator. But I'll talk to him, we'll see how it goes. I do feel like Holy Paladin Warrior, having played both teams now a little bit, it's a better comp. Resto Druid Warrior, like, we had to pull off some miracles to win. Like, we had to play at the top of our game. I would rate it as a D comp. I'd rate Holy Paladin Prot Warrior at best a B, but probably it's more of a C comp. With the current meta and the way so many teams are either Arms Warrior Paladin, Death Knight Paladin, which is kind of coin flips for us to beat as Prot Warrior Holy Paladin, or their teams designed to beat a Paladin. It really puts us at a disadvantage. So I would rate our team probably more like a C than a B. Whereas in the original game, I really felt like it was a B comp, especially in next season. But nothing, and I want to talk about this, nothing in the game is really a parallel anymore to the original game. Like, it's a shadow of what, it's different. It's just a different game. And we have a different patch, and we're going to have items scaled differently in Ulduar. So, you know, you're going to be able to get... you're going to be able to get your armor pen rating to 100% next season, which was not something you could do originally. So the game's completely different. I really am going to stop thinking about the old game versus the new anymore. This is just a completely different game. And I am very proud. I almost used the word vindicated because so many people are so disrespectful about playing Prot Warrior. But I'm not going to say that word. I'm going to say proud. I'm very proud of getting this rating. For me, this is like playing sports now for me. Like, this is my sport, and I freaking love it. And I had so much fun. I'm really grateful to Boogeyman for having a screw loose like me. And I both of us were congratulating each other. You know, it wasn't just him or me. Like, we played really freaking well together. And get this, we didn't use comms. So yeah, 2350 MMR without comms. I'm really proud of that. We were beating Gladiators every other game. Like, it was such a blast, man. And now, of course, I got my shoulders. Next week, I'll buy my helm for vanity's sake, even though Valor's Dreadnought's definitely better. I do want to talk about specs because I made some changes to play with a Druid. I went with Iron Will instead of Tactical Mastery. And in doing so, I lost some of my rage management that I had before. Now I had to be way more careful about not dumping my rage if I was high on rage for other abilities like shield block or shattering throw. I had to be very careful to not get in a situation where I went from 100 rage to 10. And one of the things I did as insurance for that is I took points out of toughness because, hey, I'm playing with a Druid. They're not attacking me. I took points out of that, and I got puncture and focused rage, and I did more damage. And if I ever went down to 10 rage, I could do a devastate for 9. I could do a hamstring for 4. So that was very nice. It helps with the rage management. I would say with a paladin, half the stuns get dispelled. So, and you already have a 15% orc racial. But I felt, so maybe this isn't that good for a paladin, but with a druid, I felt like I had to have it because I was sitting in CCs for so long. Like, a rogue kidney was just way too long. So this is really good paired with the orc racial. I do feel like playing without tactical mastery makes you a better player because you have to start anticipating things like, when am I going to have to break a bubble? And getting into the right stance for different things, and watching your rage bar and dumping rage before you swap to do a shield block, getting a free shield slam before you do that, so that when you swap back into battle, you have that slam available immediately. Little things like that. And definitely, if you do go without tactical mastery, you must get points in puncture and focus rage to maintain your DPS if you ever do dump your rage. So that being said, I still suggest you play with a paladin, but the next thing I want to talk about is armor pen. I do have Grim Toll. we won games because of this. It only happens like every 2 minutes, but when it happens, it's really strong, and you can almost predict when it's going to happen. It has a super high chance, I think, to proc from my testing. So when you initially hit someone in the beginning of the fight, you get Grimtoll. Like the first 3 hits, Grimtoll procs. So it's very reliable once you get the timing down for when this thing's going to happen. You kind of get a feel for it. But it's really hard to like time it with your abilities. But when it does proc, you're getting 20-30% more damage with that 40% armor pen. Now, I did see a warrior who was playing 3s who had 40% armor pen as Prot, and he wore a bunch of PvE gear for DPS or Fury or arms, like this one. This is the tier piece that has 43 armor pen. So you throw, instead of getting block value items, like I'm wearing a block value neck and cloak and boots. Is that it? I think I'm just wearing it, and ring. Instead of using those items, you would replace them with armor pen. So you'd be able to maintain a similar level of resilience. Your block value would drop to like 1200, and your armor pen would be 30 to 40%. I think that build is better. I think that's much better than what I'm running with right now. I'm basically just praying for crits on shield slams. And now I know it says 17% crit here, 16.99. It's really like 32% from talents for shield slam and heroic strike. So it's not as bad as it looks, but it's still not great. Having like 30% crit base and 30% armor pen base is way better, even with reduced shield slams, because your devastates are going to hit so freaking hard. Like you're going to get like 6-7k devastates. It'll be disgusting. And then like Grimtoll will proc, you know, and you'll be at 100% armor pen. So I definitely think the way I'm doing it right now is the way I'm able to, because I'm tanking, I'm main tanking, and I can't just roll on all the DPS stuff. If you have the option, play Fury or Arms, get the DPS gear, and then play Prot PvP. I think it'll be really fun. And I think maybe not this season, maybe it's a little late to get all that gear, but next season, definitely with the Ulduar changes, everyone should be at 100% armor pen. I can't freaking wait. I never got to play with 100% armor pen because I didn't play when that was available. And I had quit the game by then after getting Gladiator. So I'm super excited to just two-shot people with armor pen. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's my take on what's happened so far. That's the recap. 2350 MMR for like 40 games. I feel really proud of that. I definitely think you have to make some spec changes if you got to get Iron Will if you're going to play with a Druid. I definitely think Pally Warrior's better than Druid Warrior. And in the end, even right now in this current patch, it's possible to get a really high armor pen value, and you should try to do it if you're going to play Prot seriously. I think the way I'm playing is hard mode. But I'm very much looking forward to Classic. I think it's a different game. It's been a different game since day one. And so you can be proud, you know, of doing well in this version of the game. But in PvP, players will always adapt and try to change things in order to win, and it'll never be fully solved unless there's some, you know, completely broken builds like Arms Warrior Holy Paladin that just are S++ tier. All right, well, I'm Markco again. Thanks for following, guys. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and check out the Twitch Markco Wins. Hopefully I'll see you on there. Good luck and have fun. And in the comments below, tell me how it's gone for you with Prot PvP. Bye.